probably warm where you are too. So we share that with you. To all the family and friends that are here and on live feed, we want to thank you for your support and presence today. We are interested in having our interns work in an environmentally friendly, nationally recognized historical building. You are most welcome to tour our corner that history made. I am humbled and honored to introduce both our board presidents, Anna Seal Mantia, President of the Historical Society, Elizabeth, New Jersey, and Carol Savona, President of Future City, Inc. And I cannot tell you how important they have been to both organizations. They provide an ethical discipline to us that is extremely important. Their voice is thoughtful. They have comments that are insightful and extremely important. And it's been very important for our younger folks and our interns to have time with them. They have been very generous with their mentoring and with both organizations. And I want to just personally thank them both for all of their efforts. Seal?
I'm sorry that I'm not able to get up. I'm recovering from a fractured leg, and getting up from certain chairs are hard for me, so I have to speak to you this way. But I certainly want to welcome all of you here. We're so proud of the interns. We're very happy to have them. And on behalf of the society and our board members, I want to welcome you, and I hope you will enjoy the morning with us. We welcome our interns every year, and we really enjoy the experience of having them, and I hope that they learn from us too. So thank you for being with us today, and following this presentation, if you still have the energy, you're welcome to tour our houses. So thank you again, and I hope you have a good day.
Future City was proud to facilitate the work done this summer by our interns. And we are also proud to say that we are celebrating our 25th anniversary in the fall. 25 years. It's unbelievable. The following presentations will show you just what the gifted and talented interns have done this summer. At the end of these presentations, please ask questions and provide input so they can consider your opinions in their final drafts. Thank you so much for coming.
I need a better one. So good morning, everyone. My name is Sebastian Prado. I am one of the summer interns for this year. So now we're going to take a moment to honor some people that are important for our organization. So there are many individuals in both organizations who quietly and constantly lend their expertise and presence to our students, workshops, and events. There are two such persons here today who have generously given their time, resources, and support throughout the 25+ years we have existed. These two people are George Roberto Alcazar and Virginia San Pedro. Thank you, Virginia, for all you have done for all of us. Virginia, unfortunately, wasn't able to make it today. George Roberto Alcazar was recently honored with a portrait in the Union County Courthouse. George Roberto Alcazar has been a constant reference and ethical model for all of our students.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Sebastian, for those nice words. My life has been enriched with many good friendships. And many of those friendships have brought me opportunities. And those opportunities have carried me into positions of great responsibility. For example, if we're going to focus on my judicial career, it was a community effort that was led by a dear friend of mine and a member who was an exponent in our community, and that was Dr. Orlando Pedrea, who was our councilman at large for many years, a member of the Elizabeth Board of Education, also for many years, and also a professor at Kean University for many more years. He himself, a lawyer, saw in me qualities that he believed should be those that a judge will possess, and he took it upon himself to promote this opportunity for me. Also, Angel Estrada, who was one of our council, one of our freeholders, was part of the process. I am eternally grateful to both of them for having placed the confidence in me to promote my professional career. I think it's important that the interns understand that the process of getting to the bench is a long and a complex one. There's a predicate that needs to be put in place, like the educational requirements, and also the professional maturity to be able to be eligible for that selection. I want to also share with you that hard work was very much part of it. We can overcome challenges that are monumental with the commensurate effort that we can and we should put towards any goal. I can also tell you that if the challenges are as the ones I met, which were one of a language barrier and a culture shock, the effort may have to be a little bit greater. I came to this country and I came to Elizabeth in 1968 as a 16-year-old who could not speak English and who knew nothing of this community. So you can imagine that getting off the gate wasn't going to be a simple undertaking. So my advice that I can leave you with is put in the effort, work hard. You can complement some shortcomings that we may have with hard work. Hard work is essential. Anything we would do in our career, in building ourselves up, I can tell you that although some people may outsmart you, nobody should be able to outwork you. Thank you for attending, for being here. I'm grateful to Michelle McBean and those who are responsible for putting this together. To me, it was a bit of a surprise when she says, we would like to recognize you for your efforts, and we would like the audience to see that unveiling opportunity. I understand that that is on tape, or yeah. And again, thank you for attending, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
We have a small gift for Roberto. It's a picture of our property, and we hope you like it.
Oh, thank you. That's lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now, we'll let me introduce you.
So hi everyone, my name is Karen Quintero. I am one of the supervising mentors for the RSSI interns this summer. And this summer they're And today they're going to be presenting what they've done so far this summer. They've done amazing work, and I hope all of you enjoy what they're going to present.
I want to mention that there will be like separate presentations, and at the end of the presentation there will be a space for questions and comments. That way they can use your suggestions in their final product. Right now we're going to start with the first project. It's called the City of Water video. The City of Water is an event created by the Waterfront Alliance. We've been part of this project for multiple years. And this year the interns had a chance to get to know the Arthur team. And in the video they will teach you more about our environment. Environments like canal.
Chris Baldwin, Mayor of the City of Elizabeth, the fourth largest city in our state. We are situated around the center of the Arthur Kill Blueway. And I'd like to welcome all of you to the 2022 City of Water remote presentation. Our city has participated in regionally collaborative annual City of Water initiatives through Future City, a great organization that looks out for the ecology of our community. And we look forward to many more of these in the future. By supporting clean water initiatives and similar measures that can improve our water systems, we can all have a hand in ensuring clean, safe water for not only our families and our communities, but for generations to come. So with all of that being said, I'm very pleased to introduce a friend, Dr. Craig Donovan. Dr. Donovan has been a professor at King University for many years. He's worked with us here in the City of Elizabeth and Future City on not only clean water initiatives, but harbor estuary and all things that have to do with making our city a greener, cleaner environment. I now give you Dr. Craig Donovan. For over 20 years, we've been partners in this effort.
Thank you, my good friend, Mayor Village. I'm Dr. Craig Donovan, Chair of the Public Service and Administration Department at King University. I've been a long-standing and active board member of Future City and a co-founder of the Elizabeth River Arthur Kill Watershed Association. More than 20 years ago, me and my fellow board members Michelle Duran McBean and the late Dr. John Dovshevitz spent many hours on the Elizabeth waterfront discussing the emergency port, cranes and its shipping, and the vital and active marine life there. Out of this, we formed a watershed association that sees the Arthur Kill as a living blueway, a blueway that advocates for an environmentally sustainable and resilient infrastructure, one that supports our global supply chain. Behind me, you can see what is now Johns Cove at the northern end of the blueway. Among our other projects you might be familiar with, we're also actively participating and advocating for the new Gossack Bridge bike pathway, which connects New Jersey with New York City and Staten Island. I would now like to introduce our exceptional summer mentors, Karen and Sebastian. Could you just please introduce our summer interns?
Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian Prado. Today I'm speaking to you on behalf of the Summer 2022 FCI team. This team is being led by Karen Quintero Bonave, and we have the opportunity to work with 4 RSSI interns. We bring to you this morning the City of Water video, which will go over the Arthur Kill Blueway and the parks that make it an amazing feature of our city. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope you learn from us and our partners. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Faiza. I'm an IT major at Kirsten Patrick, and I'm an intern at Future City for the summer.
Hi everyone, welcome to our 2022 City of Warriors Award. My name is Henry Acosta, I'm a finance major at Buckeye School. It's been a pleasure to intern here at Future City this summer.
Hi everyone, welcome to our City of Water Day event. My name is Brad Monsina, and I'm an RSSI intern at Future City, and also a student at Rutgers University Newark, where I am majoring in political science and finance.
Hello everyone, my name is Vicky, and I'm a geography student at Rutgers New Brunswick, interning for Future City Summer 2022 for the RSSI program.
Our purpose is to raise awareness of the significant issues our waterways and infrastructures are facing. It is also essential to highlight the importance of our Arthur Kill Blueway. Although based in Elizabeth, our work also involves the neighboring municipalities that share the Arthur Kill Blueway.
The Arthur Kill Blueway, Federal Marine Highway, the policy. Presentation timeline. In around 16,000 BC, formation of the channel by glaciers occurred. In the 17th century, New Amsterdam is founded and the waterway is named Arthur Kill. In June 2007, the Energy and Independent Security Act of 2017 is passed. In December 2007, the Marine Highway Waterway is formed. In 2015, the Arthur Kill Waterway Deepening Project starts. In 2018, the Goethals Bridge new dual-span cable opened its lanes. And in 2019, the Bayonne Bridge elevation completed. Why are we talking about this waterway? What does it mean to us, and why do we call it a kill? The Arthur Kill actually gets its name from the Dutch, when New York was called New Amsterdam, and means back channel, to refer to its location behind Staten Island. It starts from the formation of Newark Bay and ends south in Raritan Bay. When was it formed? It was created by an ancestral carving at the Narrows for the Hudson River to drain water that led to the formation of the present-day Arthur Kill Waterway. It has served to this day as an important tool in our geography to prevent continuous flooding of cities of New Jersey and New York. However, why is this channel relevant to policy today? In 2007, the Energy Independence and Security Act was passed, with the goal of reducing vehicle congestion on federal highways to improve vehicle fuel economy. In Subtitle B, Chapter 556, they saw short sea transportation as a solution to countless trucks transporting cargo across the U.S. The goal was for a plan to be implemented a year after the bill was passed. What would this national scale project be called? This led to the establishment of the American Marine Highway by the Department of Transportation. The program was built upon the existing infrastructure of the waterway transport with a goal of increasing its usage and coordinating economic goods and services. It has received funding to expand existing waterways' depth and width to allow higher volume cargo ships to enter. So what are the benefits? Well, some of the economic benefits would create and sustain jobs in U.S. vessels, ports, and shipyards, as well as reduce maintenance costs and improve U.S. transportation. And public and environmental benefits would be for the improvement of environmental sustainability in the U.S. transportation system, as well as improvement in transportation system resilience and redundancies by providing transportation alternatives during times of disaster or national emergency. The effect of the Arthur Kill Blueway on this policy. The Blueway has deepened multiple times in the past 2 decades to allow for cargo ships to enter into the ports of Newark and Elizabeth. The most recent project was in 2015 when the river was deepened from 35 to 40 feet along the Goethals Bridge. The project was funded and pushed by the state governments of New York and New Jersey to increase marine exports. This effect has led to bridges being expanded to incorporate post-Panamax ships. In 2013, the Bayonne Bridge was elevated from 151 feet to 215 feet. This has led to the Arthur Kill to be more heavily traveled than the Panama Canal with the amount of exports that go through the strait.
Elizabeth Blueway. My name is Johnny Rosser. I'm a long-standing project coordinator with Future City Incorporated and involved with the Regional Marine Life Project, which includes our Fish Advisory Project. When I think of the Elizabeth Blueway, I think of the following. The Elizabeth Blueway is part of an active marine highway that connects Elizabeth with Staten Island, New York, Bayonne, Jersey City, Kearney, Newark, Carteret, Woodbridge Township, and Perkins. People enjoy fishing for sport and relaxation, generally fishing for striped bass or bluefish at the Elizabeth waterfront fishing sites of Merciante Jackson Miller Park, Pine Street, Todd Hole Soccer Field, the Marina, and Veterans Memorial Park. I think about container ships heading toward and document the Howland Hook Container Port in Staten Island, New York, load and unload cargo. Tugboats pushing barges through the Elizabeth Blueway, loaded with oil, garbage, and other materials. Yellow signs from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, making people aware of possible sewage overflows into the Elizabeth Blueway through combined sewer outflows during and following wet weather conditions. Storm drains which empty into the Elizabeth Blueway. People digging for mud holes in the riverbed sediment when the tide goes out be used for fishing or for sale to others. People fishing, shell fishing and crabbing in the Elizabeth waterfront fishing sites and selling their catch to others. I think about the environmental history of the city and its industrial past, which discharge waste materials into the Elizabeth Blueway, such as heavy metals, mercury, dioxin, PCBs, and other cancer-causing agents, which may still be in the riverbed sediment. The dislodging of the riverbed sediment caused by the rising of the Bayonne Bridge and the dredging of the Newark Bay Port Complex to allow for larger container ships. Oil spills from ships passing through or stopping within the Elizabeth Blueway. Because of what I think, when people are enjoying fishing in the Elizabeth Blueway, people should not eat the fish to catch, but instead use the catch and release method of returning the fish back into the water for enjoying fishing.
In order to introduce our Arthur Kill Blueway, we want to mention the different types of infrastructures that exist along the Blueway, which are blue, green, and gray infrastructures. Throughout this presentation, you will be able to determine the importance of these infrastructures in our Blueway.
What exactly is blue infrastructure? It is infrastructure that pertains to water elements in urban environments like canals, ponds, rivers. Blue infrastructure improves air quality and can even help lower temperatures. They can also be very beneficial to the community by improving mental health. Similar to green spaces, blue infrastructure provides all of the recreational and fitness opportunities in addition to being environmentally beneficial. Water, like plants, can absorb carbon from the atmosphere through photosynthesis and give off oxygen. With absorbed carbon comes cooler temperatures, healthier air quality, and valuable aid in the race against climate change.
Arthur Kill Blueway is a marine highway that connects Newark Bay to Raritan Bay, passing by the communities of Bayonne, Jersey City, Kearney, Newark, Elizabeth, Linden, Rahway, Carteret, Woodbridge, and Perth Amboy. A federal marine highway is a waterway such as a river that provides a crucial mode of transportation that helps alleviate land traffic. A positive effect of these waterways is reduction in greenhouse gas emissions and fossil fuel usage, as many container ships and freight ships use the marine highways to transport goods. Future Cities Blue Map displays sites that have shown to be common places where people go fishing. It is advised that those who fish for sport and to follow the practices of catch and release rather than consume the crabs or fish on the Blueway, which can pose major health risks if consumed.
The next infrastructure is green infrastructure. These are planned networks of natural and semi-natural areas that use a variety of vegetation, soils, and other elements to design a healthier urban environment. Some examples of the system include green roofs, rain gardens, permeable pavement, trees, etc. Why is it important? There are multiple answers to this question. Green infrastructure is needed because it improves air quality through carbon capture and reduces exposure to harmful substances. The system also prevents flooding that can lead to severe damage. Green infrastructure also helps the community by providing physical activity opportunities, creating natural habitats by decreasing impervious surfaces, and reducing municipal water usage. Furthermore, the process benefits the economy by lessening cooling costs and providing people with green jobs. An important note to consider is that a Yale School of Forestry and Environmental Studies report on the Philippines concluded that green infrastructure is usually always more cost-effective than gray infrastructures, especially since it costs less.
Climate change. We all know that climate change has had a negative impact on our nation and the world in general. However, climate change has had a very large effect on New Jersey specifically. The average annual temperature of New Jersey has increased 3 degrees Fahrenheit over the last 100 years. The sea level in New Jersey has risen 12 inches since 1950 and is expected to keep rising 1 inch every 5 years. These changes in climate can cause an increase in coastal and inland flooding, which would have an adverse effect on the coastal and inland ecosystems. In turn, it would disrupt fishing and farming, which are both essential in New Jersey. In terms of water quality, rising sea levels exacerbate saltwater migration into aquifers that serve as a source of drinking water. The air quality is also being affected as the increased temperatures and pollution escalate. New Jersey residents inhale higher levels of unsafe ozone that is also known as smog.
An urban heat island, or UHI, according to the National Geographic, are metropolitan areas that generate more heat than surrounding rural areas due to the large amount of energy burned off by people, cars, and factories, and building materials which retain heat. The effect is multiplied for UHIs located in areas that experience hot weather when people use air conditioning and fans. High energy use and energy waste also contribute to global warming and raise the city's energy bill. To combat this, cities may turn to green infrastructure. Plants have the ability to absorb carbon from the atmosphere through photosynthesis. As carbon is absorbed by green spaces, the air quality becomes better. Therefore, integration of green spaces into urban areas is essential for the health of inhabitants, reducing energy costs, and slowing climate change.
So you may be wondering where public spaces fit in and why are we talking about them? Why are they important? Well, public spaces are a major benefit to the environment. They help reduce the amount of air pollution in the surrounding area, as well as provide shade that helps reduce energy demand, indirectly contributing to improving the air quality in that area. And public spaces act as the lungs of a city, as their greenery, such as trees, bushes, etc., help reduce that air pollution.
Elizabeth has many spaces for people to enjoy thanks to the Arthur Kill Blueway. The Federal Marine Highway provides community members with easy access to beautiful and beneficial amenities like Veterans Memorial Park, Johns Cove, Marciente Park, and the famous Elizabeth Waterfront. Each of these sites allow residents and visitors to enjoy the city by exercising on the wide pathways, resting on the
sustain the environment. Great infrastructure is a system of man-made structures put in place to help regulate water management. Examples of the system would include water treatment facilities, stormwater systems, and combined sewage overflows, also known as CSOs. This type of infrastructure is an essential part of city planning. It allows the decontamination of sewage water to be sustainably returned into the environment. Great infrastructure also helps provide clean drinking water to the community and mitigate flood, burns, and other types of structures. With the increase of precipitation caused by global warming, great infrastructure is essential in removing contaminants and pollutants from the access water runoff. A major feature of the Arthur Kill Blueway is the Gothard Bridge, which spans the channel, connecting Staten Island with Elizabeth. The original bridge was one of the first structures built by the fairly young Port Authority of New York and New Jersey in 1928. The cantilever bridge was named after Major General George Washington Gothard, who supervised construction of the Panama Canal and was the first consulting engineer of the Port Authority. The newly built dual-span cable-stayed Gothard Bridge opened its lanes in 2018. Its total length is 7,300 feet with a width of 62 feet and a clearance of 141 feet. The new features of the bridge include a walkway for pedestrians and cyclists, wider lanes, higher clearance for new cargo ships, and adheres to new seismic standards. All of these new features allow the bridge to be more adequately equipped to handle the growing regional transportation needs of the 21st century and beyond.
Throughout the rest of the presentation, please keep in mind that there are two types of existing water systems, one of them being storm drainage systems and combined sewer systems.
What is the storm drainage system? The system consists of underground structures that carry stormwater to nearby bodies of water, like lakes and streams. As the system carries runoff water, it also brings debris like cigarette butts, leaves, motor oil, fertilizers, etc. This poses concerns for our waterways and their ecosystems, since this water does not go to a treatment plant.
Storm drain overflows occur when heavy rainstorms yield excess water to the water treatment plant, which leads to seepage from parking lots and roads into the sewer systems. Some untreated water from the overflow can go into basements, run down streets, or enter bodies of water. The picture on the left shows how water can overflow from the sewer systems and go back into the streets.
The city's rainwater, runoff, domestic sewage, and industrial wastewater are collected all by the combined sewer system. And it essentially consists of a massive underground pipe that transports the water to the treatment plant. However, when there is a high level of rainfall, the excess overflow is not caught by the plant, making it released by the CSO into local bodies of water, left untreated. So due to this, CSOs have become a major concern for the EPA.
Unfortunately, there are also contamination concerns with container ships and barges that push oil and garbage along the blueway from CSO runoff. CSOs, or combined sewer outflows, are pipes that collect rainwater runoff and sewage. The wastewater usually goes through sewage treatment, but when there is heavy rain, the wastewater overflows and spills into nearby bodies of water, like the Arthur Kill Blueway. Oftentimes, the water contains toxins and human and industrial waste, making CSOs a major source of pollution in the Blueway.
Next, we will be talking about the importance of water treatment plants. This type of infrastructure is vital for removing contaminants, solids, or pollutants from sewage water. The treated water is later returned into the environment. During the treatment process, besides removing unwanted solids or contaminants, the oxygen levels of the treated water are also improved. Untreated water can carry diseases and be extremely harmful to different ecosystems present. These diseases can also be a major health concern for the community. Overall, the water treatment plants are an essential part to providing a healthy environment.
He is the person that helped us developing our apps. And this year, along with the interns, they updated the apps that we had created before. So now he's going to discuss that. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Mustafa Zahiri. I'm a PhD candidate at NTNU. In 2019, we developed 4 apps with the help of interns. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So in 2019, we developed 4 apps with the help of interns. The bike app, the corner store app, the historical app, and fish advising app. After 3 years, we wanted to have some updates on these apps. We were developed for Android. There were some updates that were app specific to each app, and some that were for all of the apps. I started some app-specific updates. For the bike app, we updated the regulations, the tips and advice, and the directions. This app shows some routes for biking in the area, and we updated this information. In addition to that, we also added a feature to check the roads directly in the Google Map app instead of looking at it in the app itself. For the corner store apps, we also updated the information and improved the user interface. For the historical apps, well, we replaced the photos with some new photos taken by interns this summer, and also updated the information. For the Fish Advisory app, we changed the name to Arthur Kiel Marine Life, and also there were some broken functionalities in the app, like the link to the location and the map. We updated and fixed those issues. And there were some updates that were general for all the apps. We increased the API version to 13 for performance and security. And well, we submitted these new updates to the store. The new version for the bike app is already submitted to the store for review. And the other 3 apps also are in the process to be submitted to the store. In addition to these updates, we also reviewed the app development cycle with the interns, including how to develop the code and test it with the emulator in the Android Studio, and how to submit it to the GitHub repository, and how to upload it for the store. That's it. That was all the updates we had this summer for these apps with the help of the interns.
Thank you, Mustafa. And now I want to introduce Faisal and Vicky, and they will be presenting the following section of our presentation. Thank you.
Hello. Hello everyone, my name is Vicky. I'm this year's Future City intern from the Rutgers RSSI program. And I'm Faiza, also a Future City intern. So we are going to present what we've done at Future City this summer and how it has helped the Elizabeth community. So if you could just please scroll. and we are going to give a brief history of Elizabeth. So for a brief history of Elizabeth, it was first established in 1855, and it is known as New Jersey's first capital city. And it's also really important because it has historical value related to the American Revolution, like it has a lot of historical sites. And also the Brownell House, which is across the street and Future City's headquarters, it is actually believed to be one of the oldest domicile or house in the state. And in the area we're in right now is the Belcher Ogden Mansion, and it was originally the residence of Governor Jonathan Belcher, and he actually sponsored the College of New Jersey, which is now known as Princeton. What is GIS? GIS stands for Geographical Information System, a computer system for capturing, storing, checking, and displaying geospatial data. So GIS is used by various industries, from police departments to hospitals to public service. And we also use GIS at Future City, which you will see right now if you scroll. And we're just going to wait a few seconds for it to load. Just go back. You can go back. Scroll down, and then just
You want me to refresh it?
yeah. So this map shows the Arthur Kill Blueway, which is a federal marine highway, and it stretches from Port of Newark all the way down to Park and And this is the map created by Future City Inc. using ArcGIS, and it depicts all of the major fisheries along the Arthur Kill Blueway. This map helps to warn people of possible contamination. And you can just scroll, please. So, like mentioned before, our map warns fishers where they can use catch and release for fishing due to contaminated waters from overflows in sewer overflows. And this picture shows one of the signs near the water, and it's just warning people about catch and release so that they don't harm themselves. And this is the diagram from before, so just to explain the combined sewer system. The water from your homes, from storm drains, business and commerce, so usually factories, it gets washed into the drains, and then usually it goes to the sewage treatment plant, and then the treated water gets discharged into our rivers. But when there are heavy rains, the water overflows and the control device is unable to stop it. Therefore, the dirty water flows into our waters. So how can we use GIS to understand what communities need? And to the left, this map basically shows the red and yellow map shows New Jersey's air quality. And basically the darker colors, which are red, show like poor air quality versus the lighter colors of yellow shows better air quality. And Elizabeth falls into the category of like medium to darker, so signifying that it has poor air quality. And to the right, the blue map shows the area deprivation index, which is a measure of how socioeconomically deprived residents are on average. And again, the darker colors show like a higher average versus the lighter colors show like a lower average. And Elizabeth falls into the category of medium to high, so it has a higher deprivation index. And
These observations allow us to understand how we should better tailor to the community's needs. This is a map of particulate matter 2.5. So these are just large particles that people are advised not to breathe in because it's not healthy. So if we look at the legend here, it might be hard to see, but the colors indicate two variable comparisons. One is how many PM 2.5 particles are in the air, and the other is the population of people of color. So if we just scroll a little bit so the caption goes up. Elizabeth here falls into high people of color population and high PM 2.5. So along the Arthur Kill Blueway, we're going to show up some locations that we saw during our bike trips to test the water and air quality. So first is the Goethals Bridge, which is a cable-stayed bridge with 6 road lanes connecting Elizabeth to Staten Island. And this is a picture that we took. Next is the Veterans Memorial Waterford Park, and it is a park. It is a park with walking paths, biking, and it's a great place to spend time. And it gives a direct view of the Arthur Kill Blueway. This is the Elizabeth Marina, and it's a dock where people can fish, and it also is advised to catch and release. This is another park, and it gives an open view of the Newark Bay and the Bayonne Bridge. And this is Johns Cove, which was named after Dr. John Dee, who is the founder of the Arthur Kill Watershed Association. And the next picture will show the tide markers of the Arthur Kill Blueway, which are basically for rock piles that show how low or high the tides of the Arthur Kill are. And this map also shows them faintly. And lastly is the Bayonne Bridge, which is a steel arch bridge over the Killmancoe connecting Bayonne with Staten Island. And here is some analysis of the water quality testing data that we collected on our bike trips. So first here we have a line graph of the water temperature of the various spots that we visited. You can just click it, please. So as you can see here, these are the different spots, which correlates to a different color. And we can notice some patterns. So say on the 10th of June, the water temperature tended to be a little higher. And on average, Johns Cove has slightly higher temperature than the other areas. And if we can just go ahead, please. And this is the same data, but displayed with box plots. And we can see the averages as indicated by the X's. And again, Johns Cove here has higher temperature than the other spots. This is a scatter plot of dissolved oxygen and temperature. So dissolved oxygen enters water by direct absorption from the atmosphere, and water also absorbs oxygen released by aquatic plants during photosynthesis. Why is this important? Fish and microorganisms rely on oxygen to survive. And if you can just click this, please. So these are all the data points that we collected, and how we can see that when plotted on the map, there are differences between the areas. And if you can just X out, please, and scroll. So back up, please. What causes decreased dissolved oxygen levels? For one, high temperatures reduce the solubility of oxygen in water. So warm water has less oxygen. Organic waste from humans from CSO overflows. So again, like before, the organic waste requires oxygen to decompose, and also high nutrients, which lead to excessive plant growth because plants, they take a lot of oxygen in. And just click the graph again, please. So with the high temperature statement, we can see that our findings also corroborate that. So here with the Elizabeth Marina has very high dissolved oxygen levels and relatively lower temperature than the other data points. And over here with Johns Cove, it has very high temperature compared to the other points, and with that lower dissolved oxygen levels. And please X out and scroll. So these two are just pictures of how we did our water testing. This is at Johns Cove, and then we take this water probe, we put it in the water, and then wait like a few seconds, and it will display the salinity, the pH, the oxygen levels, etc. And just scroll, please.
And over here is a picture of our participation in City of Lauderdale. So like mentioned before, the City of Lauderdale is led by the Waterfront Alliance Association, and it was their 15th year doing it. And the interns were sent to different locations nearby, some like in Patterson and New Brunswick. And this picture shows us in Patterson, and we cleaned out the Passaic River to take out like litter, like tires. And, well, we tried with the tires, but they were too big. And afterwards, we visited different booths to learn about other organizations and how they were helping their communities.
This is a picture that one of us took on our bike trips along the Arthur Kill Blueway. And then these two pictures are from our trip to the Joint Committee sewage plant, where we learned how they treat the water so that it can be discharged. And then down here is a crab that we saw at Johns Cove. And then here is the Lower Raritan River in New Brunswick, where they also hosted a City of Water Day event. And now we're going to have Brian and Henry explain or give their closing comments.
Thank you, guys. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? This summer, we've had the distinct pleasure to meet with various Future City board members, trustees, and partners. Dr. David Tulloch was kind enough to talk to us about his career and how he uses GIS mapping to his advantage. Dr. Linda Caldwell Epps gave us great career advice, and she suggested that it's never too late to switch careers as long as you're content. I also had the pleasure to go to the Manhattan Committee of Transportation and Infrastructure with Eric Green of Marine Interface. I got to hear him make his plea to bring electric ferries right here to Elizabeth, New Jersey. I could not have asked for a better way to spend the summer, surrounded by only bright individuals, and giving back to our communities. Right?
Thank you, Henry. Those were amazing remarks.
Thank you.
Now, I'll let you start off with saying that when we interns came in June, we all did not expect what we were going to get ourselves into. Like, it's called Future City. It's not exactly telling you the job description what it is. So the nice thing about our program, the RSSI program, was we all got paired up together. A lot of interns, they were sent individually to different organizations. The nice thing was, for the past 2 months, I've been able to get to know Henry, Vicky, and Faiza, and these are the 3 people that I'm never going to forget. They were amazing people that I got to meet, and I couldn't trade my summer for that. Likewise. See, also, this was the first picture that we took on our first bike ride. I think this was the first week, which was a very nice memory. And here was a meeting that we attended, the Jersey Water Works. Now, this was a meeting that was very important to what Future City does here because they are an advocacy group for the waterfront. Their organization helps for water resilience. They bring different community members from all across Jersey to help find ways to find water solutions. And the nice thing is, I had a pleasure to go on one of the committees
where they talked about climate resilience. This was a new committee that was implemented this year, and I'm very happy to be part of it because for me, I'm focused in environmental law, and climate change is a very big factor. So I'm very glad that an organization like Jersey Waterworks is working with climate resilience. And that is all I have to say. It was an amazing summer, guys.
Yes, it was.
Sebastian, here. So this is an opportunity for you to ask any questions or make any comments that you have to the interns and regarding the project or their experience here at Future City. I don't know if anyone has a question or a comment.
So for the interns, so I heard you guys did a lot of great stuff during the summer. If you guys could come back another summer, what would be the